Well, big thank you to Alex for that. And join me now is another paramedic who wants to highlight the importance of mental health on the front line, which is something that we are absolutely, totally behind. Dan Farnworth suffered from PTSD after one particularly difficult, shall we say, call out. I mean, that's it's really good to see you. Thank you for talking to us this morning. We really appreciate it, Dan. And your job, I don't know how you do it, actually. I really don't. I mean, I don't know how you do it physically, but actually mentally, you know, to deal with everything that you're seeing every single day and to take that on. And I know it was one case in particular that I guess it just kind of tipped you over the edge.
That's right. I mean, I think one thing that I'm always very clear about when talking about the difficulties of life on the front line is that actually it probably is one of the best jobs in the world. And we mustn't forget that, you know, we actually get to help people for a living. And it's very, very rewarding. But, you know, on occasions, there are really difficult incidents to deal with. And that's kind of heightened at the moment as well, of course, with the coronavirus. But there was one incident that I found particularly difficult to deal with, which resulted in a diagnosis of PTSD.
And this was obviously, we don't want to go into any details about it because I know how distressing that is, but it did involve the death of a child. And when you were diagnosed with that, did you do the thing of just trying to continue and not really talk about it? I just wondered how you got over something so tough as that and that diagnosis.
Yeah, I think historically it was kind of the stiff upper lip brigade. We didn't really talk about mental health. And following the diagnosis, I kind of covered it up. I felt like it could be a bit of a weakness and people may not want to work with me. They may think that I'm, you know, not as good on the front line because I was struggling. And actually, I buried that and didn't deal with it. And after a while, I got into a really deep, dark place and eventually reached out and got the support that I needed from my GP and my colleagues who were great with me. And actually, although it was a very difficult recovery process, in the long term, I feel it's made me a stronger person and more equipped to deal with the incidents and the job as a whole and life as a whole.
Very brave of you to speak out. It takes such courage to actually ask for help. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do that. Your book, it's called 999 Life in the Front Line, a must read. It really gives you an insight into the job that you do. And as you say, an amazing job. You save lives. There's not many jobs that do that. You save lives, you help people. But I think it's really important that we understand the toll that it can take and that people in your situation really do have to ask for help.
That's right, yeah. And I think a couple of years back, I was lucky to be awarded a Winston Churchill Fellowship, and I travelled across America and Canada looking at how they support their frontline staff. And what I realised is that we needed to have a true reflection of what life is really like on the front line. So I started putting pen to paper and started writing the book. And it kind of grew from there. Eventually, the book was published, and it's been able to highlight the toil of what we go through, but also what it's actually done. It's enabled colleagues to feel safe to talk about their mental health. I've had people coming up to me saying, "I've read your book, it's great. I've had this problem, I've had that problem." And actually, I think people have realised by reading that a problem shared is often a problem halved, as the old saying goes.
That's very true. And we have had, you know, the Royals have actually spoken out. We've had Harry speaking out, Kate and William have been helping heads together. And that helps too. I mean, I know you've been involved with that as well. And, you know, there's that kind of thing of, oh, well, if they can talk about it, maybe it's OK for me to talk about it as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, we was incredibly lucky to meet the royal family and to discuss the story of how I came to reach out for the support. And actually, what was really empowering is that the royals, including Harry, was incredibly passionate about raising this subject. And they really inspired the first building blocks of change, which started prior to COVID-19. And if anything, you know, it's kind of heightened now and it's going through even more. The service I work for now is really trying to invest and trying to support staff. And I think we acknowledge, you know, there's a long way to go, but they are really looking to support the staff now. And it's, you know, it's certainly a more positive time for our well-being at work as it is really at the top of the list of things to do now.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly, baby steps, but we are getting there. And of course, with the setup of wellbeing rooms, I think that's going to help too. Thank you so much for talking to us. It's great to talk to you, Dan. Thank you for everything that you're doing as well, Dan, because I know you're still working on the front line, as is, of course, our Dr. Alex. And thank you to both of you for your invaluable insight. Really appreciate it. Thank you.